appreciate your innovative and good leadership in the party and in Parliament. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Hillary.
Madam Speaker, I'm Dr. Joyce Moriko Kaduchu, the woman member of Parliament for Moyo District. Mama Speaker, Moyo is the only district among the original 18 zones awaiting for municipality status.
Thank you.
I am the Minister of State substantive in charge of primary education, but here I am the Minister of Education and Sports. I bring you greetings from Mama Janet and the entire people of Moyo. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank you so much for being a true African woman. Very resilient, courageous, and principled. Even when many people spoke, you stood to the ground, and we are here in Gulu.
Amen.
Namuyangu Kacha Jennifer is my name. Woman MP Chibuku District. That's the sub-region. And by the grace of God, the minister in charge of Bunyora Affairs.
Thank you. Have I seen fisheries?
Bring us to the land of the food. This is a region that is a food basket for East Africa. I am Helen Adoa. I represent the people of Serere District in Teso, NRM, and I'm also Minister of State for Fisheries, and I want to assure all the fishing communities represented here, soon we shall minimize the challenges. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Ministers, when you're mentioning your name, mention your docket so that we know where to direct the question to.
Okay, thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Beatrice Akelo Akori. I'm the woman member of Parliament for Agago District. I'm the Minister of State in the Office of the President in charge of economic monitoring. Madam Speaker, I want to thank you so much for prioritizing the issues of the people of northern Uganda, where these issues are isolated and different arms of government will decisively handle them, including the issues in Agago District. We want to thank His Excellency, the President, for restoring peace in northern Uganda and also accepting to come tomorrow to attend this sitting to help deal with issues affecting northern Uganda. Thank you, Speaker. We love you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Margaret Muhanga, MP for Poto North, for Poto Tourism City, Minister of State for Health, PHC. The Fort Poto Tourism City, where we ply on the worst road in the country. I hope Matia Kasaija has heard. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Honorable members, if the ministers are crying, what about us? Yes.
Right Honorable Speaker, Fred Buino Chakulaga, Member of Parliament for Chiguru North in Iganga District, Busoga Sub-Region, and Minister of State for Agriculture.
Thank you.
For these sittings, I'll be holding forth for my senior college, Honorable Frank Atumwebaza.
Thank you. And honorable members, our sitting is up to 30th. Nobody should just come today and report and go back. We shall still do roll call until the last day. Yes.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Bahinduka Martin Mugara is my name, Minister of State, Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities. And I want to thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for promoting tourism. A tourist is a person who leaves their normal place of abode, goes somewhere else and stays for more than 24 hours. So all these people here are tourists. I want to thank you for promoting this and the benefits it comes with. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right Honorable Speaker, my name is Esther Anyakunda Vinia, Woman Member of Parliament for Nakaprebit District. I'm also the State Minister for Labor, Employment and Industrial Relations. But in a special, I want to thank you for making an initiative to ensure that we come to this part of the country, because most people leave government positions without even coming to see what happens here.
Thank you.
I come from Karamoja, and Karamoja is more affiliated to Northern Uganda. Thank you for making Northern Uganda the first to host the regional parliament. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right Honorable Speaker, Ambarugahara Balamateng, Mujukuru wa Kabalega, Mujukuru wa Rukidi Mpuga. I'm the Minister of State for Youth and Children Affairs. I'm the Vice Chairman of MK PLU in Western Uganda, and I'm also a musevenist and a muhozist.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I'm called Kafuzi Jackson Karagaba. I'm the Deputy Attorney General and a Member of Parliament for Chaka South, Chegegwa District. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I am Gidudu Mafavi Dominic, Member of NRM, Member of the Central Executive Committee, MP for Older Persons, Eastern Region. On behalf of all the elders in Uganda, I thank you for making this happen. And I pray that you also live to be an elder like myself. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you, Elder.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I'm Businge Victoria Rusoke, District Woman Representative for Kabarole and Minister of State for Local Government. I'm NRM. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. My name is Matia Kashaija. I'm one of the still living founders of the NRM party. I almost lost life here when I was pacifying the people who Konyi had made them possible. In Parliament, I represent Buyanja County, Kibale District, sub-region, the Bunyoro sub-region. But I'm also the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development. Matters of finance should not be raised today. We will go somewhere, and when we are budgeting, then we make a decision. Come on, thank you.
Honorable members, all your issues regarding the roads, regarding everything, raise them so that the Minister of Finance gets to know what we need.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. My name is Peter Gwang, Member of Parliament for Ngariam County, Minister of State for Education and Sports.
Thank you, Sports.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker and honorable members. My name is Chris Bariomunsi. I am a member of NRM and also Vice Chairperson NRM for Western Uganda. In Parliament, I represent Chinchizi East constituency in Kanungu district. Kanungu is in Kigezi southwestern region. And I'm also the minister in charge of information, communications technology, that's ICT, and national guidance. And together with my colleague, Minister of State, we are ready to answer all issues to do with communication, radios, TV signal, internet, network, and all other issues of national guidance.
Thank you,
thank you very much.
Thank you. Government chief whip. Government Chief Whip.
Right Honorable Speaker, my name is Jimmy Akena, represent Leero City East Division and President, Uganda People's Congress.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right Honorable Speaker, my name is Obua Dennis Amson. I represent the people of Ajuri County in Lango Sub-Region, Aleptong District. I serve as the Government Chief Whip of the Republic of Uganda. I chair the majority party, that is the National Resistance Movement Parliamentary Caucus in Parliament. I also serve as a member of the Central Executive Committee of the National Resistance Movement Political Party. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Government Chief Whip.
Right Honorable Speaker, once again, I'm Nakadama Rokia Isanga. I'm the woman member of Parliament for Mayuge District. I'm the third Deputy Prime Minister and Minister without portfolio in the government of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. And I'm NRM, woman member of Parliament. I bring you greetings, the people of Gulu, from the office of the Prime Minister, and from the Right Honorable Robin Anabanja, who is out of the country on official duties. I thank you. Thank you for welcoming us to Gulu, the cleanest city.
Thank you. Thank you so much, honorable members. From the roll call, we have 310 members physically here. I want to thank all of you for coming, and that is the sign of unity that we are showing in Uganda. Honorable members, yesterday since when we came, we visited the late Right Honorable Jacob's home with the Honorable Boa. We want to thank Honorable Chris Bariomusi for giving the family a signal. We finally opened that radio yesterday. We want to thank you so much. We also, our team of Parliament also has been camping here. We have one of the oldest school called Peche Primary School, together with the Government Chief Whip. We went and commissioned the medical camp that is there and is still there. We also donated tanks and worked on the toilets for the boys and the girls for the school. And as Parliament, that is all under corporate social responsibility. We also pledged, since we are sitting here, we cannot leave this place the way we have gotten it. Parliament, under corporate social responsibility, has laid the foundation stone. We will have the Kaunda grounds fenced, so that next time when you come, the place will be fenced, and that is courtesy of Parliament of Uganda. And I want to thank all of you, and I also want to thank the team that has been here doing oversight role. Thank you so much. Yes, Government Chief Whip. Can I have the microphones there?
Right Honorable Speaker, pursuant to communication from the Chair and subject to the provision of Rule 25(2)(e) of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament, I rise such that the record of Parliament sitting at Gulu City captures three fundamental facts which are aimed at paying glowing tribute to you as the leader of the institution of Parliament and the entire parliamentary leadership upon bringing this parliamentary sitting here in Gulu City, northern Uganda. Right Honorable Speaker, I pay tribute to you and the entire leadership of Parliament because first and foremost, historically, in the post and pre-independence history of Uganda, this is the first time that Parliament of the Republic of Uganda, from the 1st to the 11th Parliament that you preside over, is sitting outside Uganda's capital city, Kampala, and we need to commend you on record for this. Historical again, after the promulgation of the 1995 Constitution, there is no single moment that Parliament of the Republic of Uganda is recorded to have sat outside our capital, Kampala. Again, this is another glowing tribute to you. Secondly, we have been hearing people talking about the regional parliament. I would wish to state that legally, in the minds of the framers of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, 1995, as amended, they envisage a situation where the presiding officer would take Parliament to any part as long as it is within the Republic of Uganda. So legally, our sitting in Gulu is anchored on the provision of Article 95, Sub-Article 2 of the Constitution, implying any member of this House who refuses to be in Gulu, that act should be termed as unconstitutional and against the spirit of the rules of procedure of Parliament. So we want to thank you and the leadership of Parliament for the first time in our history for operationalizing Article 95, Sub-Article 2 of the Constitution of Uganda by bringing this Parliament to Gulu, which is within Uganda. Finally, Right Honorable Speaker, you should be commended together with the leadership of Parliament. Economically, this sitting in Gulu is a big boost to the Gulu economy, to the northern Uganda economy, because over 10 committees of Parliament in the last 2 weeks were deployed in West Nile, in Acholi, in Lango, in Karamoja. All these members were sleeping in hotels within this region. And for these days, we are sleeping in hotels in Gulu. We are eating from restaurants in Gulu. We are fueling cars from fuel stations in Gulu, implying a farmer growing cassava within a village called Tegwanda in Gulu city here benefits because we are eating food locally grown. So the sitting, termed as regional, has three fundamental importance that must go on record legally, economically, and historically, because the multiplier effect is huge. Very, very finally, I wish again to thank His Excellency the President, who accepted under Article 101 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda to come to Gulu tomorrow and address this Parliament, and by extension address the country through this sitting in Gulu. So, Right Honorable Speaker, it is imperative that this tribute be attributed to you, because you will live in the history of our Parliament to have set a record of taking Parliament to the people, because legislative power is derived from the people. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to submit. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Government Chief Whip. Honorable members, we will move this way. Let's get a report from the Minister of Northern Region. We also get reports from the committees that were here. Then members will supplement and we debate on those reports at once. Honorable, next item.
Item 4 on the order paper.
Where you find that what the minister has captured is not what you have, then you supplement it.
Item 4 on the order paper. Bills first reading. The Engineering Professionals Bill 2024.
The Honorable Minister of Works and Transport.
Right Honorable Speaker, before I state what has brought me here, Right Honorable, allow me also add my voice to those of my colleagues who have thanked Honorable Ojara Mapendusi for the oversight work he did in the management oversight and support supervision of the roads in this city while he was a chairperson. This is one of the most organized roads in the city, and I will be very happy to sit with my team to discuss some other things that will arise from the reports that are following. Right Honorable Speaker and members, pursuant to Rule 1282 of the Rules of Procedure of this Parliament, I beg to move that the bill entitled the Engineering Professionals Bill 2024 be read for the first time. I beg to move.
The Engineering Professionals Bill 2024.
Thank you. Pursuant to Rule 129 of the Rules of Procedure, the bill stands referred to the Committee of Fiscal Infrastructure.
Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay a certificate of financial implications accompanying the bill. I beg to lay.
Please lay. Thank you.
Item 5, statement by Minister on matters arising from public discussions and consultations, barazas, on major issues affecting the development of northern Uganda.
Honorable members, before we hear from the Minister of Northern Region, who had barazas with the different stakeholders, we in the VIP gallery this afternoon, we have the Most Reverend John Baptist Odama, the Emeritus, Archbishop Emeritus, is right there. Join me in welcoming him. He has done a lot for northern Uganda. He did what he could at his time. We have Mr. Tolit James, the town clerk of Lavo, Pechegulu district. Thank you for coming. We have Mr. Oroch Emmanuel, LOC5 chairperson of Noya district. Thank you for coming. We have Mr. Pio Christopher, LOC5 Gulu district. We have Mr. Martin Okumu, the Deputy Prime Minister, Kate Kwaro Acholi. Kwete Kwaro Acholi. That is the cultural institution. We have Ms. Among Jane Francis, the RCC of Gulu City. We have Mr. Ojok Samuel, Agago District Speaker. Mr. Ahimbi Siwe Innocent, Gulu District, Gulu City Town Clerk. We have Mr. Akamba Amir, the Deputy RCC Gulu City. We have Mr. Lotte Paul, LOC 5 Kotido District. We have Mr. Okidi Cosmas, Deputy RDC Gulu District. We have Ms. Abeto Stella, the Kao Kitgum District. We have Mr. Nangole Joseph, LOC 5 Chairperson, Amudat District. We have Mr. Otim Geoffrey, Division Mayor, Laro Peche, Gulu District. We have Mr. Bukone Richard, the Kao Gulu City. We have Mr. Atul Sam, Lira City Mayor. We have Mr. Okwiri Semei, the former RDC. We have Mr. Professor George Loda, the Vice Chancellor, Gulu University, Professor. We have Ms. Atim Grace, RDC Zombo District. We have Kano retired Ogoya Onyat, LOC 5, Chairperson, Pade District. We have Mr. Kelo Orik, LOC 5 Chairperson of Lira. We have Ms. Akelo Alice Opio, RDC Gulu District. We have Mr. Mwonge, the Kao of Agago. We have Mr. Arai Christopher, LOC 5 Chairperson Kitugum. We have Mr. Ocheng Geoffrey Osborne, RDC Noya District. They've come to witness the proceedings of today. Honorable Minister.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, I take this auspicious and historic occasion to welcome you to northern Uganda and particularly Gulu City. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, sitting to conduct business or Parliament in this beautiful, lively, and peaceful city, especially on Kaunda ground here. 2 decades after the war in this region gives me hope that as long as communities live, anything is possible in their journeys. I now have great hope in the transformation and development of this region, and I thank the people, their leaders, the government of Uganda, for their resilience and resolve for peace. This peace and tranquility came at a huge cost, and we should guard it jealously. Right Honorable Speaker, when I talk about northern Uganda, which falls under my docket, I mean the 6 sub-regions of Uganda. This is West Nile, Acholi, Lango, Elgon and its slopes, which is Bugisu, Sebei, and Bukedi, touching the international borders of the DRC, South Sudan, and Kenya in the east. However, for this sitting, Right Honorable Speaker, and my statement, I will confine myself to the sub-regions of West Nile, Acholi, and Lango. And I'll wait for you.
There's a procedure matter. Honorable Minister, is it written or have we uploaded what you're giving us?
Right Honorable Speaker, I submitted this to the Secretariat of Parliament, and I hope that is being uploaded for the members to follow.
Thank you. Isaac?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I rise on a procedure matter, mainly on the heading of item 5, as the Minister put it on the order paper. It reads, statement by Minister on matters arising from public discussion and consultations, barazas on major issues affecting development of northern Uganda. I'm wondering whether the minister did this consultation and baraza alone, because as members of MPs from northern Uganda, we have never been invited in any form of barazas. If the minister is giving a statement on matters that members of parliament have raised on the floor of parliament, then that is what it should read. But barazas, we have never, I don't know when he held these barazas. Thank you.
Isaac, you're actually reacting in anticipation. Having a baraza does not mean I have to meet with the members of parliament, because you have a privilege to get a report out of a committee. Personally, I had a baraza yesterday with the Archbishop, with the religious institution, and they were able to tell us all the issues that are happening in northern Uganda. We went to the cultural institution. They also able to tell us all. Those are the barazas. It doesn't mean that you have to announce. But let's not act in anticipation. Let's hear what the minister has to say, and then we shall complement.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I was saying that for the purpose of this sitting and then my statement, I'll confine myself to the sub-regions of West Nile, Acholi, Lango, and again wait for you when we sit in Mbale City, which still falls within my area of operation. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues.
For this, we are looking at West Nile, Acholi, Lango, and Karamoja.
Thank you, Right Honorable. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, the guns have gone silent, save for the isolated cases of cattle rustling. The guns have gone silent in this region, save for some isolated cases of cattle rustling, but the poverty levels in this region are still lingering, are still tingling. Right Honorable Speaker, according to recent household surveys, 2019-2020, poverty levels have stood at 67.7% for Acholi, 23.4% for Lango, and 16.9% for West Nile. Let me quote Karamoja in the neighborhood, which stands at 65.7%. From the data, Honorable Speaker, Acholi sub-region is the poorest in this region, and actually is the poorest region in Uganda. I have held meetings and discussions with leaders, and the biggest question of our engagements has been how to deal with the question of lingering poverty and low income levels in this region. Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, following the introduction that you have just conducted here, a number of issues were raised, others which could have been captured in my statement, and I request Right Honorable Speaker through that later on through my leader of government business, the honorable ministers who are here leading different sectors can also make reference to some of those issues raised. And I'm also aware that there are issues which are captured in the reports that are supposed to be debated, presented and debated in the section in Gulu here. And what I may not be able to raise in my statement, I hope are captured in those reports and any others that can be raised by the honorable colleagues in this sitting here. Right Honorable Speaker, I would wish therefore to delve in some of the pertinent issues raised by the honorable colleagues and leaders of the people, to me are the coordinator government activities in this region. Right Honorable Speaker, I've had an issue raised by Honorable Court John Amos from Magawa County, and he says, when will the Acholi Ward debt claimants be compensated? In our response, Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, in the financial year 2020-2022, the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs received 50 billion shillings. Please let the records capture it at 50 billion, not 55. The Ministry of Constitutional Affairs received 50 billion shillings, which was divided among the 29 districts of Acholi, Lango, and Teso sub-regions. And subsequently, the payment of war debt claimants in Acholi, Lango, and Teso sub-regions was launched by His Excellency the President on 26 March 2022 in Soroti. In the financial year 2020-2022, Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs paid out a total of 11,919,586,927,000 shillings to the claimants and beneficiaries of Acholi sub-region, and 18,472,763,793 shillings, and 18,931,380,848 to the claimants and beneficiaries in Lango and Teso sub-region, respectively. A total of 676,268,432 shillings bounced back to various reasons and was swept back to the consolidated fund at the end of the financial year 2020-2022. And we have the Minister of Finance here, and the Ministry of Justice is also the Attorney General is also here. If there's need, they will explain why this money bounced back to the consolidated fund. Right Honourable Speaker, in the financial year 2023-2024, the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development released Uganda shillings 71.28 billion, which was to be divided among the 29 districts of Acholi, Lango, and Teso sub-regions.
It's a procedure matter. The microphone is there.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. We have a full report on the order paper from the Government Assurance Committee on the compensation of war victims and insurgents in West Nile, Acholi, Lango, Teso, and Kalamoja sub-region. And I'm hearing now the Minister presenting on compensations. Are we proceeding well when there is a full report on compensation?
Honorable members and Honorable Minister of Northern Uganda, our expectation now goes back to what Honorable Isaac was saying. The expectation is and would be that you had a meeting, like just on a quick one, when we visited the Archbishop yesterday. The Archbishop talked about the poverty in this region, talked about the war victims, talked about the land grabbing, talked about those are the issues that this House wants to hear from you. The issues affecting Northern region, not you answering the issues raised by members. You need to give us the issues affecting West Nile. The road from this and this area is impassable. Then we throw it back to the Minister of Infrastructure. For you will have identified the issues in your region. But that said and done, let's hear from the Minister, then we complement, we bring our issues. We will also hear the reports, all the reports before we go into a debate.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, for your guidance. Right Honourable Speaker, I may not be privy to every report in Parliament, and also what all the sectoral committees are discussing in Parliament. And like it was said in the beginning, mine is trying to respond to many of the key issues in the northern Uganda here. And Right Honourable Speaker, I am very, very sure that in my report here, there are issues that may not be in those reports, as I may proceed, Right Honourable Speaker. And also, if there is any repetition, Right Honourable Speaker, unless it is an omission, it costs us nothing, Right Honourable Speaker, and also for the emphasis of the issues in this region. Right Honourable Speaker, permit me to say again that in this financial year, 2023-2024, government released 71.28 billion, which was divided equal among 29 districts of Acholi, Lango, and Teso sub-regions. The Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs paid out the total of 21,035,383,642 shillings to claimants and beneficiaries in Acholi sub-region. Uganda shillings, 20,15,625,569 shillings.
Yes, Emmanuel, Honorable Emmanuel.
Right Honorable Speaker, are we proceeding well when for all the compensations the minister is talking about is only talking about Acholi, Lango, and Teso sub-regions? Where is West Nile and where is Karamoja in all this?
We'll get a response from Doug. Can you pass on the microphone to Doug? I expect a lot of responses from you, but what we need to do, let's get the report first, then we ask or we supplement. Yes, Doug?
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Currently, the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs is handling war debt claimants, compensating 3 sub-regions of Acholi, Lango, and Teso. That is the instruction we have. There are requests from West Nile, Karamoja, Bukedi, Busoga, and Rwenzori sub-regions. Cabinet agreed that since the resources are not enough, we do this. We first handle the 3 sub-regions. Then if resources are available at a future date, we can consider the other areas. I beg to submit.
Thank you. Honorable members, let's get the report, and then those are some of the things that we must raise to the President tomorrow. That why are other areas not catered for? Why did you make a political decision to have only Acholi, Lango, and Teso? We'll raise that up. We'll raise, yes, Honorable Abudu.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. I do appreciate the uniqueness of this session, but I think we should better go into the normal parliamentary procedure. Right Honourable Speaker, I was strongly suggesting that we hear from the committee first, because that is what we have sent out to these committees to dig for us. Then the minister will come with his report, and then we can have a short debate before the president comes in. But hearing from the minister first is putting the cart before the horse. If it may please you, let us hear from our committee, and then it can be followed by the minister's statement. I beg to submit.
Honorable members, I want the minister to go and reorganize himself and have issues of Greater North, not answering questions, because those questions should be answered by different ministries. If we are talking about compensation must be answered by the Deputy Attorney General. If we are talking about infrastructure, then infrastructure should be handled by the Minister of what? Infrastructure. So, Honorable Minister, reorganize your issues concerning the Greater North. Then you come and present the issues.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for your guidance. Right Honorable Speaker, I may also seek further guidance that as Minister of State in charge of Northern Uganda, my work is particular to coordinate the entire activities of government in this region, irrespective of which sector. I look at infrastructure, I look at security, I look at household income, I look at all these activities of government in this region.
Honorable Minister, please come back and tell us the issues that I have in my region is 1, there are no health centers. 2, the roads are bad. 3, the fishing community is suffering. 4, poverty level is at 70%. 6, that's what we want you to tell us. 6, interference on cultural institutions. 7, you bring that. We have the next committee?
Item 6.
Much obliged, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. But you're still coming back, so you go and reorganize.
Item 6, motion for adoption of the report of the Sectoral Committee on Physical Infrastructure on the state of transport infrastructure, roads, bridges, railways, and airfields in northern Uganda.
Honorable members, as already alluded in my communication during this sitting, we'll have a report from the Chair of Infrastructure, and that is pursuant to Rule 189 of the Rules of Procedure, and he will give us an executive summary of his report. Chair.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker and honourable colleagues. Right Honourable Speaker, as you guided us, we moved around and towards the areas in northern Uganda and analyzed areas of roads, bridges, airfields, and railways in northern Uganda. Right Honourable Speaker, we agreed by consensus that my deputy comes from Noya and is a son of the soil. He led this process. I request that you allow him, I invite him, Honorable Tony Awany, to give us this summary, and then members will contribute later. Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Tony. Please make the presentation.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to present a report of the Committee of Physical Infrastructure on the state of transport infrastructure, that's roads, bridges, airfields, railways in northern Uganda. Right Honourable Speaker, allow me lay on table the detailed report of the Physical Infrastructure Committee and also the minutes of the meetings of the committee.
Please do.
Right Honourable Speaker, in accordance with Articles 90 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda and Rule 159C, D, E, F and 189 of the Parliamentary Rules of Procedure of Parliament of Uganda, the Parliamentary Committee on Physical Infrastructure is mandated to exercise oversight and ensure effective utilization of resources and implementation of policies related to physical infrastructure development. In fulfillment of this mandate, Right Honorable Speaker, the committee embarked on a field visit to northern Uganda from the 4th to the 10th August 2024 to assess the status of roads, bridges, aerodromes, and railways in the region. Right Honorable Speaker, the visit aimed to evaluate the condition, usage, and maintenance of transport infrastructure with a focus on roads, bridges, aerodromes, and the railway. The committee sought to gather first-hand information on the progress of the ongoing projects, identify challenges, and determine necessary interventions to improve the region's infrastructure. Right Honorable Speaker, this report presents the findings and recommendations of the committee, aligning with its oversight role and contributing to informed decision-making for the development of northern Uganda transport infrastructure. The committee visited the following sites: Karuma Bridge, Pakwach Bridge, Masindi Port Bridge, Karuma Olwiro Pakwach Road, Rwenkunye Apach Lira Puran Chulibu Roads, Tororo Mbale Soroti Lira Kamdini Road, Tororo Gulu Railway Line, the Regional Mechanical Workshop and Logistics, and Moroto Road. Right Honorable Speaker, this report presents a critical opportunity for lawmakers to address the transportation challenges in northern Uganda. The committee's field visit focused on evaluating the current state of integrated transport infrastructure and services, identifying key bottlenecks and engaging with local stakeholders to understand their experiences and perspectives. The committee interfaced with several stakeholders from the sub-region of Acholi, West Nile, Karamoja, and Lango sub-regions. The findings, Right Honorable Speaker, from this field visit will provide Parliament with evidence-based information for MDAs and contractors to draw or review their strategic plans for the sector in northern Uganda. This report presents the findings and recommendations of the field visit in the section of observations and recommendations. Under observations, Right Honorable Speaker, because of time constraints, I invite members to check, as highlighted above in the main report, objectives of the oversight, terms of references. The same applies for methodology, Right Honorable Speaker. On bridges, Right Honorable Speaker, Karuma Bridge, the repair works on Karuma Bridge. Right Honorable Speaker, Karuma Bridge was completed and commissioned in 1962 as a major link and gateway between the Midwestern and Northern Uganda and West Nile sub-regions. In April 2024, Right Honorable Speaker, the Minister of Works and Transport announced an immediate temporary closure of the bridge for 3 months to enable repair works. Therefore, the bridge was closed to heavy traffic with only lighter goods vehicles, SUVs, and 32-seater vans permitted to use the facility. Right Honorable Speaker, the committee was informed that the closure followed a proactive assessment in 2023 by UNRA of the bridge structure to determine its integrity and soundness. Right Honorable Speaker, the assessment involved physical examination of the elements on the bridge, including the bearings, clearing of reinforced concrete structures, and checking of the deck abutment, expansion joints, and approach roads. Following the assessment, a decision was made to completely close the bridge to all traffic while restoring work is being undertaken. During the visit, Right Honorable Speaker, the committee observed that the bridge bearings were faulty, expansion joints had worn out, structural cracks had developed underneath the deck, thereby requiring interventions to enable traffic continue to use the bridge. Right Honorable Speaker, further, the committee was informed that emergency works were expected to be completed by June 2024, after which the bridge would be accessible to all traffic. However, Right Honorable Speaker, the works were delayed and was expected to commence on the 19th of August 2024. Now that the contractor has been identified to undertake the repair works and the contract has been signed, whose details are in Table 1. I invite members to go to Table 1 in the main report. Right Honorable Speaker, the committee was informed that during the remedial works, the bridge would be closed to all traffic for a period of 3 to 4 months to enable demolition of the bridge deck, replacement of the bearings, restoration of the expansion joints, and restoration of the deck. Remedial works are expected to extend the lifespan of the bridge by a further 2 to 5 years, during which time normal traffic use will be possible. The progress of the emergency works is provided in Table 2. I invite honorable colleagues to check Table 2. The committee, Right Honorable Speaker, the committee therefore recommends as follows. UNRWA should ensure strict adherence to the work program for the remedial works on Karuma Bridge so that normal traffic is restored within 3 to 4 months. In any case, not later than 19th December 2024. 2, Right Honorable Speaker, the committee recommends that UNRWA should ensure that funding is availed for the proactive assessment of the major bridge structures across the country in order to determine their structural integrity and soundness, as this would prevent a likely sudden failure and closure that are inconveniencing road users. Right Honorable Speaker, the committee also recommended that Uganda Wildlife Authority should consider providing a waiver for public transport through the national park during the period when emergency restoration works are being undertaken on Karuma Bridge. Right Honorable Speaker, construction of the new bridge at Karuma. The committee was informed by UNRWA of plans to construct a new bridge over the River Nile at Karuma. The commencement date for the new bridge is expected to be September 2026, after feasibility studies are completed, among others. The current Karuma Bridge was constructed in 1962 with a design lifespan of 50 years. The ongoing repair works are expected to increase the service life of the bridge by a further 2 to 5 years. Right Honorable Speaker, therefore, it is imperative that the government of Uganda considers a long-term solution to the movement of traffic at Karuma, and construction of the new bridge is an ideal proposal by the committee. The committee recommends that UNRWA should expedite the completion of the necessary processes, including feasibility studies, designs, acquisition of land, and sourcing of funding in order to ensure that construction of a new bridge at Karuma commence as planned in September 2026. Right Honorable Speaker, the impact of temporary closure of the bridge. The committee observed that due to temporary closure, travelers are experiencing delays in reaching their destinations, and movement of goods and services has been significantly affected. Despite Karuma Bridge being a crucial artery for commerce in West Nile and northern Uganda areas, it facilitates the movement of goods and services between regions and supporting numerous businesses. Currently, heavy goods vehicles have been diverted to alternative routes, including through Museveni Falls National Park, that is National Park, and through eastern Uganda, through Masindi Port, and via eastern Uganda, therefore increasing the travel time, cost of transportation, and inconveniences to road users. Right Honorable Speaker, the committee observed that alternative route through Masindi Port is overwhelmed by increased traffic and negatively affected by floods. In addition, the public facilities at Karuma and Kamdini, such as toilets, have been strained due to increased numbers of passengers and are either side of the bridge as they await transportation using smaller vehicles across the bridge. The committee received a memorandum written by the Uganda National Chambers of Commerce, Leero branch, to execute a directive of the UNRWA on the 3rd August 2024, expressing concern about the significant bottlenecks to the transportation of the goods. Right Honorable Speaker, the committee further recommends that UNRWA should expeditiously undertake emergency repairs on Nakasongola, Zengebe Road to enable interim transportation of people, goods, services, while repair works at Karuma Bridge are ongoing. UNRWA should immediately deploy another bigger ferry at Masindi Port and increase the working hours of the ferries due to the significant increase in diverted traffic that the committee witnessed at Kungu landing site. Right Honorable Speaker, UNRWA should expedite the repair works so that normal flow is restored over Karuma Bridge. Right Honorable Speaker, another elephant in the room is Pakwach Bridge. Assessment of Pakwach Bridge. The committee noted that the bridge was commissioned in 1969 and has been in existence for over 55 years with minimal maintenance. The committee observed that there were structural cracks on the abutments, expansion joints that failed, and embankments on the western bank of the river had weakened with visible erosion. In addition, there was floating vegetation underneath the bridge surrounding the structure and impeding the river flow. This vegetation resulted in a dump load around the bridge, including the abutments and other structural elements. Right Honorable Speaker, the committee was informed that UNRWA undertakes various types of assessment on its bridges, including periodic, special, and routine inspections. These inspections enable UNRWA to determine the integrity and serviceability of the structure, including the various elements thereon. The committee noted with concern that Pakwach Bridge had evident structural cracks on the abutments and failed expansion joints. This poses challenges to the performances of the bridge and might result into sudden failure unless possible defects are comprehensively established and corrected earlier. Right Honorable Speaker, the committee was informed that the flooding at Pakwach Bridge is due to the wrong designs at Tangi Bridge. The committee therefore recommends the following. UNRWA should undertake an immediate special inspection of the bridge to assess its performance and correct any likely anomalies thereon. UNRWA should urgently design and source funding for a new bridge over the Albert Nile at Pakwach to replace the existing one. The decision should be cognizant of the unique environmental challenges faced by the existing bridge, including floating vegetation and soil instability. Right Honorable Speaker, we recommend that Ministry of Works and Transport should review the designs of Tangi Bridge so as to manage the water flow at Pakwach Bridge. The floating vegetation. The committee observed with concern that there was a floating vegetation surrounding the bridge elements within the water, thereby impeding the river flow and creating other challenges. It was noted that this vegetation is likely to lead to dump loads on the bridge structural elements, which would result in increased risk of flooding and weakening of the bridge over time. It was also reported that another floating vegetation had been spotted downstream and was likely to arrive at the bridge in 3 days, posing a risk to the structure. The committee noted with concern, Right Honorable Speaker, that UNRWA has only one dredger that is used across the country, which affects its timely intervention when more than one bridge needs its services at the time. The committee recommends, Right Honorable Speaker, that UNRWA should institute a debris removal system and increase the frequency of dredger operations at the site. In addition, the local community should be mobilized to engage in a maintenance program for clearing the debris and floating vegetation on routine basis. UNRWA should immediately return the dredger that has transferred to Zengebe to Pakwach Bridge so that it can be used to clear the floating vegetation. Due to the persistency of the flooding vegetation, UNRWA should procure more dredgers to facilitate timely interventions on the various bridges and landing sites in the country. Degradation on the embankment of the western bank of Pakwach Bridge. The committee observed that the embankment on the western river bank had eroded and was weakening as a consequence. There were visible signs of failure and the situation was expected to get worse as there was no intervention taken to protect it from erosion. Therefore, the structural integrity of the bridge would be affected over time if the embankment was not protected. The committee recommends that UNRWA should urgently build a retaining wall and undertake sheet piling at the exposed embankment in order to protect it from further deterioration and likelihood of catastrophic failure. Masindi Port Bridge. The delayed construction of Masindi Port Bridge. Right Honorable Speaker, the Masindi Port Bridge is expected to be completed under Phase 4 of the Rwenkunye Masindi Port Apach Lera Poranga Acholebu Road Project. It should be appreciated that the bridge is under procurement and therefore the commencement date is yet to be established. UNRWA informed the committee that Islamic Development Bank, who are financing the road projects, have committed to funding the bridge works at Masindi Port. Right Honorable Speaker, the committee noted that the construction of this bridge is a long-time presidential pledge, and therefore delays in commencements of works on the Masindi Port Bridge are expected to affect the optimization and the under construction of Rwenkunye Masindi Port Apach Lera Poranga Road. Right Honorable Speaker, this is because upon completion of the road, there will be diverted traffic on the road, leading to an increase in the number of vehicles using the newly constructed road. Consequently, the delays will be longer, since more vehicles will be using the new road, and yet only a single ferry remain being used at the crossing point. Right Honorable Speaker, further, the committee observed that the temporary closure of Karuma Bridge has increased traffic at Masindi Port Bridge. The committee was informed that the Masindi Port ferry broke down due to a lot of work. The committee therefore recommends that UNRWA provides a bigger ferry to manage the situation. Government should expedite the sourcing of funding and identification of a contractor to undertake construction of the Masindi Port Bridge. Right Honorable Speaker, the national roads, Karuma Olweo Pakwach Road. The committee was informed that rehabilitation of the Karuma Pakwach Road is currently ongoing under two separate lots, namely Lot 1, Karuma Olweo, which is 43.5 kilometers. Then Lot 2 is Olweo Pakwach, which is 62.5 kilometers. The works on the two lots are being undertaken in separate contracts, but the same contractor. The previous works on the road were completed in 2007 with a design lifespan of 15 years. The scope of the works for Lot 1 constitutes rehabilitation works mainly comprised of provision of an asphalt concrete overlay on the entire section to replace the existing double bituminous surface treatment. These works are to ensure that the service life of the existing road is extended by at least 7 years. For Lot 2, the road is to be reconstructed and the whole road to be widened with benched earthworks and gravel fields. The final road conforms to the design Class 2, paved standard with asphalt and concrete service. I invite the honorable colleagues to refer to Table 3 and 4. Works construct details for the rehabilitation of the Olweo Pakwach Road is therein. Right Honorable Speaker, the committee also examined issues of the delayed payments to contractors. The committee noted with concern that the contractors were demanding money for unpaid work since interim payment certificate remained outstanding. The total value of the unpaid IPCs was 15 billion shillings. That is to say 2 billion on lot 1 and 13 billion on lot 2. The works contract contained provisions permitting the contractor to claim for interest payments on any outstanding IPCs, as well as an option to stop execution of works until payment are effected. The committee recommendations, therefore, Right Honourable Speaker, government provides adequate funding to enable UNRWA immediately pay the outstanding payment of Uganda shillings 15 billion to the contractors in order to curtail further accumulation of the interest and enable works proceed as per approved work plan. The committee also recommended, Right Honourable Speaker, that UNRWA should ensure contractors are paid for any completed works in the future as per agreed time frame in the works contract. Delays in completion of the work. Right Honourable Speaker, the committee noted with concern that the works on the road project are behind schedule and are likely to be completed on time. Karuma Olwaleero section works are supposed to be completed on the 30th of November 2024. Yet physical progress was at only 16.7%. And those for Olwaleero Pakwach section are to be completed by the 25th May 2025, but physical progress is only at 28.8% as at July 2024. Right Honourable Speaker, UNRWA attributed the delays to the late commencement by the contractor on Lot 1, the riots in Kenya that affected the supply chains of imported construction materials such as bitumen. Despite concerns by the committee, UNRWA reported that the contractors had deployed adequate resources on Lot 1, Karuma, to ensure completion of the project within the remaining time frame, including machinery to apply 500 meters full width asphalt concrete surfacing. The committee recommends that in order to ensure timely completion of the project, UNRWA should effectively monitor and enforce the contract to ensure compliance with the contract terms and project timeliness. Right Honourable Speaker, the structural damage and blocked access to property. The committee met individuals whose property were damaged due to the ongoing works and were demanding for compensation. These individuals were located in Agung along Olwaleero Pakwach section. UNRWA reported that it was aware and committed to compensating the affected individuals since the project insurers are liable for meeting such eventualities, which is usually done once after establishment of all affected persons is completed. In addition, Right Honourable Speaker, the committee noted that some project affected persons had access to their property cut off due to embankments built higher than the existing roads. The road elevation in Porong had been raised, leaving nearby shops in a lower lying area, making accessibility challenging for locals. These alterations lead to floodings and destroy business of the community. Right Honourable Speaker, the committee recommendations. UNRWA should immediately maintain open and transparent communication with the affected individuals, providing regular updates of the compensation process and timeliness. 2, UNRWA and contractors should expedite compiling a detailed list of project affected persons and consider to timely compensate them. UNRWA should implement measures to mitigate the negative impacts on business and surrounding communities, such as providing alternative access to routes or ramps, and implementing temporary drainage solutions to prevent water accumulating during construction. UNRWA and the contractors should reinstate the utility lines. Right Honourable Speaker, Renkunye Apache Lira Poranga Acholi Road. The project is for upgrading of Apache Lira Poranga Road Acholi Bu. Details are summarized in table 5. I invite the honourable colleagues to get to to table 5. Design review of the project. The committee noted with concern that the project had a design review which was undertaken by a new consultant. This resulted in significant changes in the scope and price of the project. UNRWA informed the committee that initially the road had been designed to go through the existing road with approval of the then leaders. However, during implementation, there was a new leadership in Kwania district and town councils who decided to maintain the old roads due to many buildings in the town. Consequently, UNRWA had to redesign the road to create a new section, which was less expensive to compensate compared to the buildings on the old road. In addition, Right Honorable Speaker, the committee was informed that design of civil works depends on samples. However, during implementation, after opening the ground, there are variations in length and width, which result in either savings or additional costs. The committee recommends as follows, Right Honorable Speaker. UNRWA should use the design consultant to supervise the contractors so that any design reviews do not result into additional expenditure by government. UNRWA should make its design review process more clear and transparent to ensure that any changes to the project scope and price are thoroughly justified and documented. Delays in granting full access to site. The committee was informed by the contractors that one of the challenges they were facing during project implementation was the delay in granting full access to site or right of way. The committee was informed by the contractor that 19 kilometers had not been acquired on lot 1 and 20 kilometers on lot 2. UNRWA reported that land acquisition on this project commenced in 2017 with preliminary processes including the stakeholder engagements at all levels, survey and valuation data capture, and the first valuation report was approved on the 3rd September 2018. The second and third reports were approved in August 2021. And then the fourth in September 2023, and the fifth report on Lirang-Ngeta section in July 2024. All are currently under implementation with 2 supplementary reports arising from the original reports. Right Honorable Speaker, the project was divided into the following smaller sections. A patch, Lira handed over to the contractor 93%. I think this one members can go through. Right Honorable Speaker, Tororo Mbale Soroti Lira Kamdini Road. Government of Uganda received funding from World Bank for implementation of an output performance-based road contract along Tororo Mbale Soroti Doholo Lira Kamdini. That's about 340 kilometers. The project is being implemented in 2 lots. The project duration is 8.5 years, and Table 7 summarizes the contract. The delayed project implementation. The committee observed, Right Honorable Speaker, that the 8.5-year project is being implemented at a slow pace, since it has 29 months remaining out of the 102 months for the project duration, and yet rehabilitation works have not started on Lot 1, and Lot 2 is at 47% physical progress on the rehabilitation works as at the end of July 2024. The committee was concerned that further delays could lead to project extension of time, which could result into additional supervision costs, even if there is no cost time extension for the contractor. Right Honorable Speaker, UNRWA informed the committee that delayed approvals to key installations and auxiliary sites by NEMA had hindered the progress as planned. The committee recommends that NEMA expedites its approval process to enable timely implementation of the project and prevent additional costs that could arise. Right Honorable Speaker, an issue that demands attention, the scale-up use of force account for maintenance of national roads. The committee appreciated the fact that in June 2012, the government of Uganda instituted a policy shift from contracting road maintenance works to the use of a force account. The first account policy for road maintenance applies to district, urban, and community access roads, we refer to as DUCA, and the national roads under the Uganda National Roads Authority. This was after the government of Uganda acquired 1,425 new equipments through a USD 100 million loan from China. According to the Public Procurement and Disposal of Public Assets Act, Right Honorable Speaker, the first account mechanism means undertaking the work of procuring and disposing entities using the personnel and equipment of the procuring and disposing entity or of another procuring and disposing entity. To ensure value for money in the application of the first account mechanism, the PPDA Act guides that the accounting officer of a procuring and disposing entity shall make available materials, employees, tools, and equipment adequate for the works, and ensure that the works are executed as per the applicable technical standards, and ensure that a qualified supervisor supervises the works, and ensure that the employees and supplies used for the works are commensurate to the works, and maintain and manage the records, equipment, and supplies the works for the Public Finance Management Act. The committee noted that the UNRWA team under the first account uses 5 million per kilometer to maintain the unpaved roads, and 50 million per kilometer to maintain the same category under the framework contract. The committee was concerned that government spends a lot of money on framework contracts vis-a-vis what would have been used on first account. In response, UNRWA team informed the committee that the team is always constrained by staffing gaps and lack of adequate and reliable equipment, among other challenges to cover the vast network. In addition, Right Honorable Speaker, the committee was informed that the staff in the UNRWA stations on the level of fleet assistance are inadequate. For example, the current ratio of fleet assistance to vehicle is 1:2 in Kitgum station, 5:3 for Lera station. Consequently, staff are multitasking on the vehicle, making them inefficient. The committee was informed that UNRWA needs to recruit more fleet assistants for effective service delivery. However, there is a ban on recruitment. Right Honorable Speaker, the committee recommends that UNRWA should ensure effective and efficient road construction and maintenance. The committee recommends that the government provides additional equipment and review the staff structure to accommodate more fleet assistance, among others. Right Honorable Speaker, the inadequate funding of the maintenance of national roads. The committee noted that in the recent years, the budget for road maintenance under Uganda Road had been declining, save for financial year 2023-24, when the budget for the local government increased by Uganda shillings 1 billion per local government. Right Honorable Speaker, here we need to thank you for having, and the House, for having availed through the Committee of Parliament on Physical Infrastructure, the 1 billion to districts, municipalities, and cities. We thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. The committee observed that inadequate budget allocation is affecting the maintenance of national roads. For example, the Q1 financial year 2024-25 release of Uganda shillings 90 million had been received by Gulu UNRWA station for maintenance, only 90 million. And yet it supervises 7 districts. This implies that under first account, the money can maintain 18 kilometers, while under framework contract, all the money would would maintain only 1.8 kilometers of the entire road. The committee recommends that government prioritizes maintenance of national roads to reduce on rehabilitation costs of early reconstruction of non-maintained roads. Right Honorable Speaker, encroachment on road reserves, like a honorable colleague mentioned, the committee was informed by UNRWA that one of the challenges faced by the station is encroachment on road reserves and other properties, especially those under the Kitgum station. The committee was concerned that currently the mitigation measures by UNRWA is encouraging staff to be more vigilant in identifying encroachers during the inspection. The committee was further informed that the UNRWA enforcement and unit did not have staff at every station, and therefore there was need for them at all stations for faster response to encroachment. The committee recommends that UNRWA provide enforcement staff at each station and, where necessary, evacuates some encroachers from its property as a deterrent example to prospective encroachers. Right Honorable Speaker, allow me get briefly to the recommendation of the committee in that respect, that UNRWA should consider engaging public-private partnership. This is in respect to the request which was placed by the Karuma business community about the health facilities, the restroom facilities at the town council. UNRWA should consider engaging public-private partnership to establish restroom along national roads to ensure that Ugandans and tourists along the roads do not get embarrassed. UNRWA should consider establishing bus stop sheds along the roads. Right Honorable Speaker, roads and other strategic roads, oil roads and other strategic roads in northern Uganda. The committee observed that the oil roads in Noya district have not yet received the requisite attention and maintenance. The poor condition of this road is not only hindering the smooth transportation of oil equipment and personnel, but also affecting the livelihoods of local communities who rely on these roads for their daily activities. Through sharing with stakeholders, the committee was informed that there are a number of strategic roads that need to be attended to, so as to enhance interconnectivity of the road network in the northern region. These roads are substantial. These roads offer substantial economic and social benefits to the region. Away Amoro Otwe Kololo roads, which is the gateway to linking to West Nile and Rhino Camp. This road serves as a vital link connecting Noya, Amoro districts to West Nile region by connecting the communities to the ferry at Kololo and providing access to Rhino Camp. This route is essential for boosting regional trade, enhancing market access, and catalyzing cross-district commerce. The Moroto Road through Omoro to Pade, Agagu, and Abim in Karamoja. This road is key to unlocking the economic potential of the sub-region. Connecting Omoro, Pade, Agagu, and Abim districts up to Moroto, upgrading it to a high-grade tarmac road will facilitate the efficient movement of agricultural produce and lower transport costs, and stimulate regional trade. Right Honorable Speaker, this road is essential for attracting investments in agriculture, education, and other key sectors, driving inclusive growth and enhancing socio-economic outcomes for communities in these districts. Right Honorable Speaker, Atyak Apiata Lamour Kitgum Road. This road links Lamour Kitgum to the regional economic hub at Atyak and provides a key route of cross-border trade with South Sudan. Developing this road to high-grade standards will not only improve regional connectivity, but also boost economic activities, hence service delivery and reduce travel times between key districts. Right Honorable Speaker, members earlier on alluded to Nebi, Goli, and other networks of the roads in West Nile that should also be given due attention. The committee recommends that government and relevant authorities should prioritize the rehabilitation and maintenance of oil roads in Noya district to align with their policy of commitments. Because in Acholi sub-region, the oil roads have not been optimally worked on, as you would see in other regions. The Ministry of Works and Transport conducts feasibility studies on the above-mentioned strategic roads and have them tarmacked. The government should allocate sufficient funds and resources to ensure timely and quality construction and maintenance of these roads, so as to enhance economic and social growth to the region. Right Honorable Speaker, the district, urban, and community roads. The committee observed that the network in most local government was in fair to poor condition. The committee observed that in financial year 2023-24, government allocated $1 billion to local governments for rehabilitation of roads. And this year, the same amount has been allocated for road maintenance, following parliamentary recommendation to rename the grant. During oversight, Right Honorable Speaker, the committee established that the 1 billion had enabled Gulu City rehabilitate some roads and constructed 2 bridges, box culverts, improving the condition of the network in the city. In a patch, the funds enabled them to rehabilitate roads which had not happened in over 10 years, and similar reports were received from other local governments across northern Uganda. The committee noted that only districts that have equipment, have road equipment, while cities and municipalities rely on bureaucratic processes of requesting for equipment from the executive director of UNRWA, since the district equipment is always utilized with the provision of Uganda shillings 1 billion, and money is released on the same time. Further, the committee observed that while government shifted to the policy on force on account and districts are now using force on account for maintenance of roads, the Works Department have no supervision vehicles and makes it challenging for the challenging for the staff in the Works Department to supervise equipment and ongoing works in the field. Right Honorable Speaker, the committee recommends that government provides additional funding towards maintenance and rehabilitation of roads. Government provides supervision vehicles to the Works Department to facilitate supervision of road works and equipment. Right Honorable Speaker, allow me to make this footnote. Northern Uganda has only one regional mechanical workshop, which is stationed here in Gulu, that supervises the entire northern Uganda. The committee recommended that at least each sub-region be funded to have its own mechanical workshop. Then use-mid roads, Right Honorable Speaker. The committee noted that the use-mid roads completed under phase 1 were being maintained by the respective local governments. However, the lifespan of most of the solar lights have expired. In Gulu City, 162 lights had been replaced using local revenue from property tax. However, vandalism of the solar batteries was reported as a major challenge experienced by use-mid project during phase 1, and Gulu City alone had 15 criminals arrested and are being prosecuted. The use-mid project has no component for land acquisition, and so the local government depend on the goodwill of the people. Where the people refuse, the carriageway is reduced since there's no provision for land compensation in the project. Further, Right Honorable Speaker, the committee was informed that often road construction works involve relocation of utilities. However, during the process of implementation, the utility companies demand that local governments to replace them with upgraded and more expensive installation. Committee recommends as follows: local governments should continue sensitizing the population of the individual benefits of paved roads to increase on the goodwill project of the affected persons. Utility companies that are upgrading their utilities should work hand in hand with the relevant stakeholders. Another recommendation, Right Honorable Speaker, is the concerned government ministries, departments, and authorities should work together and come up with clear guidelines and encourage and engage with one another so as to address disagreements between local government entities and utility companies. Right Honorable Speaker, allow me to take this opportunity to thank Gulu City for the good management of the use-mid project. I want to thank Gulu City, because in other parts of the country where we had gone for oversight, there is a delay. For example, in Barara, and Tungamo, and Kabale, there was a serious delay. So we want to say that Gulu City is a benchmarking point for successful implementing use-mid project. Right Honorable Speaker, allow me to touch briefly on the regional mechanical workshop. Then I do a conclusion. We'll just invite members to go through because of time constraint. Gulu Regional Mechanical Workshop was established in 2001 as a regional workshop servicing 12 districts at the time in the sub-region of Acholi, Lango, Karamoja, and West Nile. The beneficiary districts have since increased to 38. The workshop's primary responsibility are major repairs on equipment, since the districts have a percentage of road maintenance budget to cater for the minor repairs. The committee was informed that the workshop does not have sound supervision vehicles, making it difficult to supervise equipment. Like I had earlier on noted, Right Honorable Speaker, the committee recommends that at least each sub-region be having its own mechanical maintenance workshop. Right Honorable Speaker, the committee also interested itself on the rail lines. Right Honorable Speaker, the rehabilitation of the meter gauge railway from Malaba to Soroti, Lira is ongoing. But what's concerning, Right Honorable Speaker, is the pace and the speed at which the project is being undertaken. We visited the logistic hub in Gulu. We want to thank government for this beautiful facility, but this logistic hub can only function when it is well fed by a properly rehabilitated rail line. Right Honorable Speaker, we visited Gulu Airport and we interface with officers from the Civil Aviation Authority. The committee recommended that this particular airport facility should be upgraded to an international airport. Should be upgraded into an international airport. We also got information from Arua Airfield, which is being upgraded under a public-private partnership. Right Honorable Speaker, the committee recommends that government expedites completion of Arua International Airport by fully compensating projects affected persons, in addition to providing the necessary funds. Other aerodromes that the committee interested itself on is the Kitgum Airfield, the Kidepo Airfield, which is being upgraded to an international standard, and also Pakuba. In conclusion, Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, the Committee on Physical Infrastructure appreciates your support to increase funding to the sector priorities inclusive of the transport infrastructure, so as to ease mobility of people, goods, and services. I now move that Parliament receives and adopts the observations and recommendation of this report. I beg to report, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Honorable Chair, Vice Chair. We'll proceed this way. The areas in contention is northern region. And we want any addition to what the findings are. If there is something that is left out, and we are talking about the national roads, not the community access roads, national roads. Yes. So we'll start with Tom, Honorable Tom, and we need to move faster because for one reason, we need to get all this so that we put it in the report that we'll present to the President. Yes, Eki. Is that Honorable Eki?
Yeah, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I will take this opportunity, Madam Speaker, before I state the procedure, to state that I'm Ekanya Geoffrey, Member of Parliament, Toro County, North, Treasurer General of the FDC. Madam Speaker, this is historical, and we are proud of you having your root in the FDC. We know you'll do much greater things for Uganda. Madam Speaker, recently we faced a bit of misunderstanding with the President in terms of how we manage budget. And Madam Speaker, we need to be more smarter. I want to thank the committee. The only way to be more smarter, Madam Speaker, is to operate within the system. Madam Speaker, we have the Vision 2040, we have the National Development Plan, we have the Public Investment Plan, we have the program or policy programs for the sectors or for the areas, and then we have the Public Finance Management Act and other laws establishing the institutions that we supervise and monitor. Madam Speaker,
I would think that the committees presenting report would go outside the box and do much greater work by making reference in their report to the National Development Plan. For example, according to the National Development Plan, what does it state about roads in this region? How many of the kilometers has been done? How many of it is pending? We got the Public Investment Plan.
And is that road under NDP 3?
Exactly, Madam Speaker. We got the Public Investment Plan. Look at it. Which road was captured in the Public Investment Plan? Was it budgeted for? Was the resource allocated? Because unless we do that, Madam Speaker, we are going to be glossing over, and you find that other areas where issues are not captured get swept year in and year out. And therefore, Madam Speaker, I request the committees, especially the Committee of Infrastructure, please, we thank you for this report, but go in depth, look at the Public Investment Plan, look at the National Development Plan, look at the resource allocation. Sometimes we allocate resource for roads and then it is diverted year in and year out. And then, Madam Speaker, the committee establishes very fundamental legal glitch. And they do not recommend remedial legal disciplinary action. For example, Madam Speaker, the committee said on Pakwash Bridge, the matter was designed. The committee does not recommend disciplinary action and sanction, which is provided for in the Public Finance Act.
But this House has a right to make an amendment on what the committee has found.
Yeah, thank you. Therefore, Madam Speaker, are we proceeding well that the committees make reports which are not rooted and founded on the institutional system and the policies that we operate in?
The committees work on behalf of this House, and when we realize that something is outside the scope of what we can have that off the report, or we can do amendments on the report that is being presented by the committee.
Thank you very much.
But as of now, the committee has done a good job. If the committee is talking about Pakwach Road will not be worked on if it was not in NDP 3. If it is talking about Karuma, it wouldn't be worked on if it was not under NDP 3. Most of the issues that the committee has raised are on delays, on non-compensation of PAPs, on failure to release the monies. But then I would also want to find out from the Minister of Finance, much as the committee is excited about the 1 billion shillings, have you released the money to all the districts? Has the money been released?
Madam Speaker, I don't want to give a half answer. I would request that you give me some time. I go on the ring maybe tonight, my permanent secretary, with the specifics, and then I can answer this question tomorrow.
We need an answer on the release of the 1 billion shillings that was supposed to go to the districts. As of the last sitting that we had, the monies were not released. So we need that response, and it will not cost you to, because we are closing this debate on infrastructure. Honorable Matia, it will not cost you much to make a call, just a phone call, to PSST and find out on the releases of the 1 billion shillings that was going to districts to help in the district's road network. So we'll give you 30 minutes to do that. We'll have finished this report, and then we'll go to the next report.
Obliged, Madam.
Thank you. Tom? Honourable members, I want you to be very brief. Say the road from Olio, where should be worked on, and as the Honourable Ekanya said, is that road under NDP 3? If it is under NDP3, why is it not being worked on? Just mention the road, and then the Minister of Works should be able to respond to all of that. Yes.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker and members of the August House. I am called Alerutom Aza, Member of Parliament for Westmoreland County. I would like to thank the Committee of Physical Infrastructure for the report. However, Madam Speaker, the report has not highlighted about the stalled work on Koboko Yumbe Moyo Road, which was launched by the Right Honorable Prime Minister on 17th of May 2024. Secondly, Madam Speaker, the bridge across the Nile at Laropi Moyo district has not been highlighted. Laropi Moyo Jale Afozi Road has not been highlighted, and yet the procurement process has stalled. Madam Speaker, lastly, there is a floating vegetation.
Clerk, take note of the roads that are being mentioned.
There's a floating vegetation on River Nile that has always grounded the ferry services connecting Moyo district to other areas, other districts. And my prayer is that may the Minister of Works fast track the construction of the bridge across the Nile at the Nairobi Moyo district so that we can be able to develop. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, Dr. Boka. I wish they could bring a microphone there.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to thank the committee chair and the committee members for the very comprehensive report. But I note with concern, Madam Speaker, that the report seemed to have focused more on the mid-north than West Nile and Karamoja. Within West Nile, we have the Greater Nebi with infrastructural challenges.
Dr. Boka, mention what you want to mention.
I have the following, Madam Speaker, to highlight. We have a strategic security and tourism road from Panyemuru, Pakwach, Rhino Camp, Obongi up to Dufile. That for the last 15 years has been highlighted in both the party manifesto as well as the NDP3. It's not been mentioned. The same applies to the road that comes from Arua City through Obongi, Ajumani to Eleguen International Road, not mentioned. And lastly, under transport, water transport is very important, Madam Speaker. In the 40s, 50s, and 60s, the West Nile was served by steamships that plied from Nimule to Namasagali. In our strategic plan, there has been a highlight about reintroduction of water transport system that would reduce the cost of movement of people and goods. I pray that the Infrastructural Committee, as well as the Ministry of Works, Transport, takes interest in investing in water transport as an alternative means of transport to improve the movement of goods and people. I thank you. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Honorable members, some of the spellings may be misspelled because a clerk may not write it very well. So put it down in writing and give it to the clerk to capture it, and that will be our opening remarks to the President tomorrow. Yes, next. The microphone is supposed to be there, unless you want. Who has the microphone? Give it to Avuru. Father, Avuru has the microphone.
Who has the microphone? Okay, now it's me with the microphone. You give the microphone there to start.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to commend the Committee of Infrastructure for their observations on Karuma Bridge and Pakwach Bridge, and I'm going to address my mind to the issue of bridges. Right Honorable Speaker, whereas the committee rightly observed that UNRWA should stick to the specified period for the maintenance work on Karuma, and that UNRWA should ensure funding is secured. Right Honorable Speaker, aware that UNRWA stops at planning and budgeting, and the approval is done by Parliament, and the release is then done by the Minister of Finance. I therefore want to implore this August House to send a strong signal to the Minister of Finance to ensure that expenditures, government expenditures on critical projects like bridges and roads be addressed with immediate effect. Right Honorable Speaker, if we are supposed to yield the high returns that we expect from this infrastructure. Leaving it to UNRWA may not solve the issue because the releases are not done by UNRWA. Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, constant movements of goods and services, both domestically and internationally, is key if we are supposed to compete comparatively within the region and outside our country. And for our goods to earn the requisite foreign exchange that we badly desire, I therefore want to pray that Karuma Bridge and Pakwach Bridge, the works on them be expedited sooner than later. Right Honorable Speaker, about the vegetation, the floating vegetation in Pakwach. Indeed, I want to commend the committee because I was home just yesterday. The floating vegetation is very close to the bridge now, and this is impeding the fishing activities on the Albert Nile, and even killing our fish, which is really our cash cow in the district.
Thank you.
Right Honorable Speaker, I pray that we move fast to even clear them. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to disagree with the committee calling upon my people to come and support in clearing the floating vegetation. Right Honorable Speaker, aware that the fisheries operations on both the Lake Albert and Albert Nile has left 90% of our boats not only destroyed but burned. Then how possible is that our people are going to help in supporting UNRWA to clear this vegetation without having boats in place? I therefore want to call upon this House to emphasize to government that whereas we are ready as people of Pakwach and beyond to adhere to the new fishing policy,
members,
we need to be supported. I thank you.
I wish we could summarize and
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I thank you. You asked for those with a microphone, and I'm one of them. I want to thank you for bringing this because it's the right time that we raise these issues. I want to thank the committee for the elaborate reports, Right Honorable Speaker. However, within the national roads that we have, in Waya District, we have Oyam, Koch Lee, Koch Goma Town Council Road, which is in the National Development Plan. And then we also have Katikati, Alero, Kona Nwaya Road, which is also in the National Development Plan. We also have Anaka, Longolo, Amoro Roads, which is also in the National Development Plan. I want to bring this clearly because, Right Honorable Speaker, every week that our businessmen and women are traveling, especially on the roads of Katikati, Alero, Kona Nwaya, we've lost so many lives. Even right now as I speak, there are so many trailers which have blocked the road. The pedestrians cannot use the roads because it's impassable. And I would like to request that the Ministry of Works sends UNRWA today as we plan and look for the contractors to start working on these roads for the maintenance. Right Honorable Speaker, it's my humble.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable
Minister of
Speaker.
Works, you've heard. Can we first hear from the Minister of Finance?
I have the microphone, Honorable Speaker.
Minister of Finance.
Madam Speaker, by good chance, as I was going to phone my permanent secretary, I met two people who said, Minister, don't waste your time. money has been sent. I quote, Navy District, this money is sent quarterly. So the first quarter, Navy District has got 250 million. Pakwach District has got 250 million also. Even Kibali, even Guru, now I'm being told. So I think that I have answered the question.
Thank you. And then on the priority on releases of money for working on the bridges.
The bridges, the main bridges like, like Karuma.
Karuma, Pakwach.
Karuma, Pakwach. That one again, because as I said, these more details at times I don't catch them.
Thank you. Thank you.
I will come back tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable.
Thank you so much, Right
Honorable Father Onen. Father Onen has been waiting here.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues. I want to thank the committee for the good work. And Right Honorable Speaker, we have historical sites in northern Uganda. One is Fort Patero, where Sir Samuel Becker camped to end the slave trade. We have the Paimol shrines, where 2 martyrs were killed, and yearly people go there. These sites, and among others, contribute to the local tourism. I expected the committee to consider those roads, and it is not there in the report, and I pray that those roads be considered for construction. Yearly, Right Honorable Speaker,
the question goes back, is it something that is in NDP 3?
Exactly, and it is also in the NRM manifesto. Information,
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable. I want to give more information on those tourism roads in Acholi sub-region, especially the one in Paimol, where people from all walks of life they come there every year in October 20th to celebrate those 2 martyrs. But every year, they get stuck on the way because Agago, we don't have any tarmac touching the district of Agago. We don't only have historical site in Paimol, we also have another one in Kalongo, where in 2022, Blessed Dr. Ambrosoli was blessed to be one of the blessed person in the world. And still people come from all walks of the life, and the roads are impassable because we don't have any tarmac touching Agago. And we have option that the road work from Puranga to Acholibu will also extend up to Pade district. And therefore, if UNDRA can prioritize this in NDP 4, it is not in NDP 3, but they should prioritize this road in NDP 4 from Pade district headquarters to Kalongo, to Paimol, then to Namokora, joining Kidepo Tourism Road. That would be a complete road that will help our people from the whole world.
Thank you, David.
Right Honorable Speaker, additional information. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. And I want to thank so much Father Charles Onen for reading my mind ahead of my submission. Right Honorable Speaker, on Gulu Patiro Road, which is 72 kilometers, is a national road. Right Honorable Speaker, I raised this during the caucus meeting in Chankwanzi. And the president himself said, this is my road. And it's a road that leads me to a very important historical road. That is Fort Patiro. And when he came for the rebuttal of General Brigadier Okoya, I again reminded him in Palaro, my constituency. And he said, I am going to work on this. Right Honorable Speaker, it was an omission from the committee on the physical infrastructure. They put it there, but I wondered how it is kept the mind of the presenter. Right Honorable Speaker, additionally, Unyama sub-county, when Gulu City was carved, some of the parishes was got from Unyama sub-county. And since 2020 up to now, Right Honorable Speaker and August House, Onyama Sub-County has never received a car fund. And that has limited the work that Onyama Sub-County is supposed to give as service delivery to the people of Onyama Sub-County, my constituency. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Jessica.
I want to thank
Jessica.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to thank the committee for a very good report. Right Honorable Speaker, I have the following observations. One, inadequacy in proactiveness. Karuma Bridge stayed for 62 years now, and we are still doing emergencies. Then Pakwach Bridge is now for over 55 years. This calls for proactiveness so that we avoid death-threatening issues. Two, I want to talk about the Usumid roads. I want to thank the government, but I request the Ministry of Works, Ministry of Lands to go to Adjumani because we are very far from finishing the town council roads under Usumid. Right Honorable Speaker, the issue of flooding around Pakwach Bridge is not only in Pakwach, but we have Tete Bridge, we have Sinyanya Bridge, ferry, not bridge. The two areas are now flooded, and people do not have any option of survival. I request that the Prime Minister and also the Ministry for Works really go to those areas because we are losing people daily. Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Gilbert Olanya.
Right Honorable Speaker, as I pass the microphone to Honorable Olanya. Right Honorable
Honorable
Speaker.
Gilbert Olanya.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, in a special way, on the behalf of the FDC, I would like to welcome this sitting in Gulu and northern Uganda, and I am proud that we are the first in the region. I would like to thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, on the Karumba Bridge, I would like to appreciate the committee, but the closure of Karumba Bridge has bogged down the development and the businesses in northern Uganda. Right Honorable Speaker, I am happy you are here. Most of the bus owners have parked their buses. Big trucks, those who will transport heavy goods from Kampala, they are no longer bringing commodities like tiles in northern Uganda. Right Honorable Speaker, there's a new bridge which was really constructed and it is operational near where electricity plant is in Karumba. I pray that let the minister direct that bridge be used temporarily. The bridge is very strong and is working very well. Right Honorable Speaker, when we do that, it will ease the transport to northern Uganda.
Thank you.
Number two, Right Honorable Speaker, about the maintenance of roads in the district. Government provided equipment, graders, the lorries, but most of those equipments are down, Right Honorable Speaker. Many of the districts are crying of bad roads. The feeder roads across the district in northern Uganda are down because the district do not have power and they don't have the road equipment. I pray that the Minister of Work should really provide new equipment to all the districts, or they have the special mechanic to repair those road equipments that were provided to our district. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Songa.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members. And I want to take this opportunity to thank the committee.
Honorable members, the whole northern team will speak.
I want to thank the committee, but if I'm to give marks to them, it is only 40%. First of all, we have to use logic. There are roads that already have the engineering.
Which road are we talking about that you want to be tarmacked?
Yes, one priority road which we need to tarmac is the road which can generate for us revenue, and that is the road from Nebi, Goli, Paida, Padea, Zombo, Zeu, War up to Vora Custom, then Lia to Dramachako. Because Uganda needs revenue, so we need to prioritize that road, which appeared in the NDP 2, it was left out. In the NDP 3, up to now, it is not tarmac. We need to use that logic to generate money from the border in order to do the internal roads. So that is the priority road. The president talked about it recently in Honorable Nyamutoro's function in Nebi. So let us prioritize that road. Some of these roads people are mentioning, they are still doing the concept. Let us grade them, that this road has already full engineering design, this one has at the concept stage, and then from there we can prioritize, because we cannot do all of them at the same time.
Yes,
I
you
thank
have
you.
information.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to give this information that much as we thank the committee for the work they did, we realize that the way they handled this particular road of Goli to Vura depicts that the road is not as urgent and necessary in this country. We want to request and implore the Minister of Finance to take interest in the economic value that this road will give to this country. We are not only talking for Zombo, but this road of Goli to Vura can make other roads in this country. Minister of Finance, I would love to give you free transportation to go and we do this study together. Possibly you'll appreciate what we, the members of Parliament, have already appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you.
To conclude, Right Honorable Speaker, this road has about 5 border points, and each border point per day is receiving about 50 vehicles crossing to DRC. And from DRC, on average, each border is receiving about 20 vehicles. But once, because of the bad road, once a lorry or a truck blocks the road, that means loss of revenue for Uganda. So I implore that this must be a priority, and it should, my prayer is that this issue of the road of Nebi to Vora to Dramachako should be concluded tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Etuka. Then we move away from West Nile. Etuka.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity. Right Honorable Speaker.
Etuka, Noah, Feta, then we come to Acholi.
In 2021, when Upper Madi cumulatively lost 21 people, several of them school pupils, the Ministry of Works and Transport sent one of the senior engineers, Engineer Odongo Richard, from Ministry of Work, who went to the constituency and inspected 8 bridges. And 2 weeks ago, when we lost 5 school pupils, the ministry was informed. I personally wrote to the Ministry of Works. I talked to the Minister of Finance when all these tragedies have been happening. And to date, Right Honorable Speaker, despite the comprehensive inspection of these bridges, none of the bridges is constructed. And yet, this river connects so many institutions, particularly the health institutions and the education institutions. And the Right Honorable Speaker, I started the struggle in 2016. All this time, nothing has been done. And secondly, Right Honorable Speaker, in 1996, when the Uganda National Liberation Front 2 camped in Madiokolo, particularly in Lali, the president And the UPDF generally found it difficult to eliminate these rebels. And that is why they had to use the air bombarders to make sure that the rebels were removed. And that was because of lack of
Honorable
road.
members, tell us the road that you
The
feel
road
needs to be worked.
Right, Honorable Speaker, the road that time which was pledged by the President was the Pawar, Chanya, Baribu, Alibu, and the Vura Road.
Right,
And in
right,
2000,
and give it to us.
And in 2016, the President, who could not access Upper Madi, particularly Ofaka sub-county, for his campaigns had to be airlifted because the bridges were all broken. And he pledged that the Ofaka Road, the Anyiribu, Ofaka, and the Ulepi Road would be rehabilitated. All these years, I have been drawing the attention of the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Works, and nothing has been done. I pray that these roads be worked on and be prioritized in the ministry budget. Thank you.
Honorable Noah Musa.
Thank you very much, Right
Honorable
Honourable Speaker.
Feta.
Right Honourable Speaker, I
Ayume.
want to thank the committee for the report, but I want to remind them on a road which is for central government, 38.5 kilometers from Keri, Lima, Midigo, Kerwa Road. This road has not been maintained for several years, Right Honourable Speaker. They need to consider it. Secondly, Right Honourable Speaker, I want to talk about the district bridge. This is on account that investments in bridges are really huge and districts cannot manage them. With the 1 billion which is being released to the districts, some good work is being done on the roads, but it becomes useless not to connect them. I therefore want to request that the government should also provide funding to the district to deal specifically with the bridges. For example, in Koboko, we have 3 strategic bridges which need to be fixed. One is Key Bridge in Lodara sub-county. We have a BAB Bridge in Loble sub-county. We have a Kochi Bridge. This bridge, the district cannot fix them. It is important that government should consider allocating funds to the district to work on the bridges. Thank you very much.
You have information? Feta, Dr. Yume. Chris, I will give you.
Right Honourable Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. I want to thank the committee, particularly on the recommendation of review at the Tangi Bridge that has been causing the flooding of that stretch. 2 weeks ago, a committee to have visited physically to appreciate so that they can report exactly the state of the road. Nebi, Madiokolo, Arua Road, 76 kilometers.
Okay,
the committee did not visit.
Take note of
Thirdly,
that.
West Nile hosts the second busiest international airport, the Arua Airport. That airport is the second busiest in the country. I expected the committee to have visited and they reported exactly what is happening there. That airport has been in plan. There is no action taken. There is no communication of plan. I take the information.
PP.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, West Nile is in the western part of Uganda, southwestern part of Uganda. Recently, I visited Arua City, northwestern here, Arua City, and indeed, as the honorable members put it, we have had to travel 75 kilometers and in almost like 6 hours. And that road is deplorable. I want to really support the honorable member from Arua that if priorities are supposed to be given, they should actually give it to Arua so that that road is actually repaired.
Thank you.
And I want to also...
And Honorable Minister, it's not the first time we are hearing about that road.
Okay, maybe let him conclude because now I
interest.
want to bring also mine. Thank you.
You first bring yours, PP. PP. Let PP now finish.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to thank the committee for the good work done. I know it's just a very tedious exercise to compile all the nature and the status of roads in all this country. You recall that one time we had a motion actually discussed in the Parliament of Uganda, where we had tasked the Minister of Works and Transport to compile all the contracts of roads, all the statuses of roads, but the minister failed to present that report in Parliament up to now. Now, I want to thank the committee for the good work done. However, Madam Speaker, the road from Kitgum through Chua West, Kitgumatidi, going to Kidepo, passing through Chua East, has been in the National Development Plan for a long time. These people who are constructing the road went there for an assessment, but as we speak now, completely, not even a iota of a single work is being done. The compensation which was promised to the people there was not done completely. So can really we consider this road from Kitgum district passing through Kitgumatidi, going to Kidepo, which is also a tourist road. Lastly, Madam Speaker, there are some strategic bridges. They may not be the main bridges, but strategic bridges, which the district can't really work on. And we have just bridges, actually 2 of them in Kitgum district. There's one connecting one sub-county to the center of Noding. Because you see, there is a river bearing the Noding children, the Noding syndrome children, to pass through to go and access health facilities in a different sub-county. So that bridge has been promised, that bridge has been budgeted for, that bridge is in the DP3, but no work has yet begun. Similarly, the one connecting Kitgumatidi to a particular parish, which is also a Noding disease-infected area. Those bridges are supposed to be considered, Madam Speaker. Lastly, recently we have had an engagement with the district through the District Local Government Public Accounts Committee. We have had recommendations, Madam Speaker.
Honorable PP.
Yes, Madam Speaker.
The road you've just said we passed a loan on Kidepo Road.
Yes.
Isn't that the road?
That's the road, yeah.
And the issue that we have, government of Uganda is supposed to give 5% of the contribution towards that construction.
Absolutely.
On top of the loan. So what awaits is the 5% of that contribution that should be answered by the Minister of Finance. And according to the report said it is because of the deduction that was being done, the money that was reduced from the budget. So Minister of Finance, you'll have to give us a feedback on the 5% on the Kidepo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I was making my last submission, then I return the microphone to you. The issue of recommendation from the districts who have been engaging the UPDF engineering department. I thought of bringing this issue here, Madam Speaker. The districts that have been using UPDF engineering department have registered almost 99% of the success rate in as far as contract is concerned. 99%. Via efficacy, effectiveness, timeliness, and the quality of work. We have had, for example, a district like Kwania district. Kwania district is using solely the UPDF engineering department to do their construction. And we have had this recommendation from almost 60% of the cows which we have, to build bridges, to build roads, to construct schools, to do major construction.
Thank you.
Can we also find it relevant in this particular case to recommend that most of the important contracts we have in this government should be given to the UPDF engineering department. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, thank you. Minister, you've heard. Honorable Feta, you could finish.
Right Honorable, thank you very much. I want to thank my colleague for confirming the state of that road. The last issue, Right Honorable Speaker, I wanted to raise was the issue of the one as the committee.
It has an impact. All you need to